Anyone who's spent a lot of time in nature knows that size and weight are important considerations when packing, but there's a lot of stuff out there that's light as a feather and microscopically compact, but if it doesn't do the job, it shouldn't make the cut. Which is actually the way we're going to take a look at Trails, the new standalone bite-sized sequel to Parks today. In many ways, this feels like Pocket Parks, evoking similar concepts and production values, but in about half the time, size, and cost. Perfect to bring out on an excursion. But just because it looks like Parks does not mean it's the same game. So let's check it out.
In Trails, players are individual hikers making their day trip pilgrimage from trailhead to trail end over and over again before sun fully sets and the game ends. Players can move their hiker 1 to 2 spaces on their turn, resolving the effect of the space they land on, most of which involve gaining or trading their cubes, representing leaves, stones, and acorns. When they reach either trailhead or trail end, they turn their hiker around to face the other direction and can spend their hard-earned cubes to get badges on display or in their hand. Some are straight points, some have immediate effects, some give points based on conditions fulfilled throughout the game. The thing is, and the most intriguing and delightful feature of the game, is that whenever a player makes it to trail end, they get the bonus associated with the sun's current position, then slide the sun 1 space to the left, permanently flipping over the trail tile to reveal a new, more powerful action.
This gives a really nice, naturally occurring arc to the game as more and more locations become more powerful, empowering players to get more badges as they go back and forth along the trail. But the pressure is on because time is fleeting. When a player makes it to trail end and the sun is already in the final spot, they take the sun. Everyone else gets one more turn and the game ends with the player with the most points winning. So, as the sun sets, you start thinking to yourself, I better pick up the pace. I need to be able to get further faster. So you pull out your trusty canteen and you deplete it in order to move as far as you want in one single direction, only being able to refill it upon return to the trailhead. But the act of moving further faster only continues to accelerate the end game. It's a real clever touch to always keep the game moving forward, but giving players a collective sense of agency in the overall pace.
In truth, Trails is a pretty low-pressure game, especially compared to its beautiful but surprisingly cutthroat older brother, Parks. Players can freely share spots, move at their leisure, and the only real interaction comes from players claiming badges you were gunning for, only to flip new ones costing resources you ain't got, or from the 2 remaining features we haven't covered, the photos and the bear. The photos come from a spot on the trail where you draw lavishly illustrated cards worth either points, birds, or both, and the player with the most birds at the end of the game gets bonus points, though it's only 4 points, so if you're getting a bunch of photos, it generally seems better just to go for direct points. And then there's the bear, who is wandering the trail like every Alaskan sphere, except instead of having to employ the safety techniques I and every other child in my state learned in grade school, yes, bear safety was part of our standard curriculum, #JustAlaskaThings, landing on the spot with the bear lets you roll a die, move him to the corresponding location, and get that location's benefit. A kinder, more gentle interaction with wildlife than bears normally lead me to expect.
So, this game is beautiful, this game is fun, this game is very nice, but the theme is kind of all over the place. I mean, you got these bear bonuses, the hikers are looping back and forth on the same trail over and over again in some sort of transcendental Sisyphean nightmare, and I'm still kind of iffy about the whole picking up stones, acorns, and leaves along the way, because the whole naturalist shtick is to take only memories and leave only footprints. But in an abstract way, it does convey a true appreciation and love of nature. Like Parks, it's gorgeous, inviting, and has fantastic components, and while its low pressure, low complexity, and low playtime make it a particularly inviting game for new or more casual players, play still feels thoughtful and deliberate. Now, if I had to choose only one, I'd still go with Parks. I tend to like more robust games, and there's a certain competitive edge to Parks that I find really engaging, but Trails truly does stand apart. I mean, it treads similar water while being its own very delightful little duck. So if size and weight are important considerations for you, both in a figurative game length and complexity sense and a quite literal, yo, I'm packing this game to go sense, then it's hard to do better than Trails. And that's our review. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Jack for the Cardboard Herald.
If you enjoyed this video, we have all kinds of other reviews, interviews, and recommendations via writing, podcasts, and video here on our channel and website cardboardherald.com. Our content is audience supported, so if you want to show your support, please visit our Patreon. Thank you so much for watching. This has been the Cardboard Herald.